Welcome, everyone. My name is Dina Zuckerberg, and I'm so glad you're joining us for this broadcast in our virtual summer reading series. Whether you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, you can use the live chat to say hi and let us know where you're joining us from. Tonight's book teaches us how to respond to bullying. Please share with us in the live chat how bullying makes you feel. I feel sad when someone bullies me. One note is that this broadcast is live and public, as are your comments. We love hearing from you and may display your questions and comments during the broadcast, so send them in. Welcome again to those who just tuned in. And say hi and let us know where you're joining us from. We always love to know where people are from. And let us know how bullying makes you feel. Again, welcome to those who've just tuned in. And we have Brittany saying hi. Hi, Brittany. Tonight we are giving away 2 signed copies of Simon and the Bully to 2 lucky winners. We'll select 1 winner from our list of registrants, and 1 winner will be chosen from participants in the live chat. So be sure to sign in on Facebook or to your Google account on YouTube and let us know that you're here. And say hi and let us know where you're joining us from. The winners will be announced at the end of the broadcast, so be sure to stick around and find out if you won. My name is Dina Zuckerberg, and I am the Director of Family Programs at MyFace. For 70 years, MyFace has been dedicated to changing the faces and transforming the lives of children and adults with facial differences by providing access to holistic, comprehensive care, education, resources, and support that paves the way for better outcomes. MyFace aims to provide individuals and families with the care, tools, and information they need to successfully navigate their journey and let them know that they are never alone. Before I bring on tonight's guest, we have more read-alouds coming up in August. You can RSVP to receive invites to the MyFace Virtual Summer Series at myface.org/summer series. As someone who was born with a cleft lip, I am particularly excited to introduce tonight's guest. Patricia Simon is a registered nurse and was born with a cleft lip and palate. She is a force in the craniofacial community, serving as a board member of Children's Craniofacial Association, a member of Smile Trained Cleft Community Advisory Council, a member of Born a Hero, Tour of Kindness, and of course, MyFace. Patricia is the author of Smile with Simon books, which aim to provide children born with facial differences to understand that it's okay to be different. She wants to remind them that they are beautiful. At the same time, her books send a universal message of being kind to one another, accepting people's differences, and extending your hand to others. Last summer, Patricia participated in our virtual summer series reading her first book, Smile with Simon. I am pleased to have her join me again to read her third book in the series, Simon and the Bully. Thank you, Patricia, for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Before you read your book, Simon and the Bully, can you tell us why you decided to write Simon and the Bully, and then tell us a little bit about Simon?
Okay, I have written Simon and the Bully because bullying is such a daily occurrence that goes on in today's society. And it doesn't just affect children, but it affects adults and older adults. And so this book was written to remind everyone that bullying has no place in society, and that we really need to be the change agents and make sure that we extend our hand to others and show people how to be kind and not to bully people. And so that's why I thought it was important to write this book, Simon and the Bully.
Thank you. And do you want to share a little bit of Simon and talk about?
Sure. Simon, right here. This is Simon. As you could see, he was born with a cleft lip, very similar to mine. And Simon is a cardinal. And I don't know if you all know about cardinals, but when you see a cardinal, usually it's a message from someone up above sending you positive vibes, just letting you know that they're thinking of you. And so Simon is the main character throughout all of my books. And he is really the one that sets the stage and teaches us how to be kind and accepting of others.
I love that idea of cardinals. I didn't necessarily think about that, but I love that that's what they do, and that the sign that they send. So thank you.
Sure.
I'd like to now invite you to read your book, Simon and the Bully.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and read Simon and the Bully. And before I go ahead and read the book, I wanted to read the dedication. I am dedicating this book to Ann Z. Ann taught me about forgiveness. As a kid, I was always bullied. I was excluded, made fun of, and was the brunt of many stares. And when I started high school, I turned into a bully. Yes, I turned into a bully. I was bullied as a kid, and yet I became a bully. In high school, there was a girl, Ann, and for some reason, I felt like I had a right to bully her. Ann was very sweet and kept to herself, and yet I felt I had a right to make fun of her, and I always felt bad about it. So some 30 years later, I called Ann up and I apologized for being mean to her in high school. And Ann graciously accepted my apology. Ann made me realize that even though I had been a bully, it's never too late to say you are sorry. It is never too late to reflect on your behavior and the impact it has on others. All we can do is try to be better, to learn from our mistakes, and to make others aware that bullying has no place in our society. No one is better than the next. Instead of being mean to people, we should try and be the change agent. Thank you, Ann, for teaching me an invaluable life lesson. And so let me go ahead and begin reading Simon and the Bully. Simon and his friends were covering the sky with all different colors from their feathers. Each bird had a unique voice. And when all the birds sang together, it became a beautiful song. We are different, we are beautiful. We are different, we are beautiful. On a beautiful fall day, a bird with a frown zoomed by Simon and his friends. The bird kept zipping in and out until the other birds became frightened. "Hello," Simon called to the unhappy bird. "Hey, you," the bird with a frown on his face tweeted. "You, with the scar on your beak." Simon smiled back. "Hi." The unhappy bird flew right up to Simon and tapped his beak. "You got a funny face." Simon was caught off guard. "But I was born this way." You don't look like any of the other birds, the bird with the frown said. What's wrong with you? Nothing. I'm just like you, Simon replied. Simon's friend Fallon flew up to the cardinal. Be careful of him, she chirped. He's a bully. The bully bird flew away, and Simon sadly perched on the buddy branch. The bully had made fun of Simon's scar on his beak. Simon always called his scar his badge of courage. The bully bird had made Simon feel that being different was bad. As Simon sat on the branch, he tried to understand why this bird was so mean. Simon's friend Patty walked by and saw him sitting alone on the buddy branch. Patty could see that Simon had been crying. Hi, Simon. Is it okay if I sit with you? Patty sat quietly on the buddy branch next to the little cardinal. Simon tried to smile, but couldn't. He was too upset to talk. Finally, after several minutes, Simon got up enough courage to tell Patty about the bully bird. Patty nodded her head and listened as Simon told her how badly the bully bird made him feel. I know all about being bullied, Patty told Simon. When I was little, I was teased in school for having a scar and looking different from the other birds, from the other kids. Thanks for telling me, Patty, Simon said. I feel much better. He was happy that he had someone to talk to. As Patty was talking to Simon, the bully bird flew by and sat close to them. The bully bird was curious to hear what they were talking about. What should I do if the bully bird is mean to me again? Asked Simon. Just be yourself, Patty replied. Don't worry about what others think of you. It's important for you to keep flying and playing with the other birds. Patty then told Simon how she relied on her family, friends, and teachers when in a difficult situation. Patty explained to Simon that there will always be those that stare and say and do unkind things. It's all about how you respond to bullies, Simon. Look at them right in the eye and tell them that they are a bully and to go away. Just then, the bully started to choke on a seed. His beak turned blue. He frantically flapped his feathers and tried to fly away. He wanted to ask for help, but could only screech, eek, eek, eek. Simon noticed the bird choking and quickly flew over to help the bully. Spreading his wings, Simon tapped the other bird's back so the bully could cough up the seed. When this didn't work, Simon cried, "Help!" Without hesitation, the other birds joined Simon and worked together. Finally, the bully started coughing and out came the seed. The bully's beak started to change from blue to pink. The bully took some deep breaths and gathered his thoughts. Finally, he turned to Simon and chirped, "You helped me, even though I was not nice to you. I was very mean to you." The bully looked at the other birds and said, Thank you so much for helping me. Before, I made fun of all of you, but you still came to save my life." The bully told the other birds that he was having a really bad day and had wanted to take his anger out on Simon. "Being mean is all I've ever known," the bully explained as he started to cry. "I didn't realize how hurtful I'd been." "What's your name?" Simon asked the bully. The bully lifted his beak. My name is Bully. No, Simon tweeted. What's your real name? The bully looked down and quietly replied, Leslie. Leslie, Simon chirped. The bully told Simon that Leslie was his grandpa's first name, and he was named after his grandpa. He told Simon how he was already bullied because of his name. Simon smiled. Leslie, I like that name. Nice to meet you, Leslie. Simon flew back to the buddy branch and proudly chirped to his friends, This is Leslie. Hi, Leslie, the other birds cheerfully tweeted back. Simon chirped into Leslie's ear. Please remember, unkind words hurt. To be left out hurts. After all, our differences make us who we are. Thank you, Simon, Leslie said. You taught me to be kind to others. I never thought I could change. Magically, Leslie's feathers became a brilliant red, and his frown turned into a beautiful smile. Come on, let's spread our wings and fly, Simon said. We need to be good role models for others. You never know what others are going through, so let's all be kind to one another. Smile with Simon and be kind. And at the very back of the book is lyrics to the Smile with Simon song. The end. So I hope you enjoyed my reading of Simon and the Bully.
Thank you so much, Patricia, for sharing your beautiful story with us. I couldn't help but think how I wish that book was around when I was in school growing up, and how that might have made a difference for me. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I just want to remind the viewers that, to let us know what you thought of the book. Let us know what you loved most about this book in the comments. And if you haven't already, submit your questions now and we'll share them on the air. So while we're waiting for any questions that might come in, I wanted to ask what, when you wrote this story, were you taking moments from your own life and your own experiences?
I wrote the book because, and I wrote the series of books because when I went to the library, and like you said, there were not any books out there when I was young. And so being bullied or acceptance, kindness, facial differences, there were no books out there for me. And so that's why I wanted to write Simon and the Bully, as well as my other books. Because again, for me, when I was a child, there were not any up-to-date books. And so that's why I felt like I wanted to write these children's books to convey the messages that they're not alone, that there's a community out there to help.
Thank you. And can you just share a little bit about what a cleft is? I know you talk about it a little bit, and about your difference, craniofacial difference.
Sure. I was born with a cleft lip and palate. So a cleft lip is an opening. So it's a gap. And so basically when you're born, your lip is separated. And for me, my experience was at 6 months of age, I had my first surgical repair on my cleft. Back then, my parents had no idea that I was going to be born with a cleft lip and palate. So when I was born, there were no ultrasounds, nothing like that. So it was a bit of a shock to my parents. And subsequently, I've had surgeries on my cleft lip and palate throughout the years.
Yeah, I too was born with a cleft lip, so and had several surgeries. So, and I know the most common facial difference there is being born with a cleft lip and palate. So were you bullied and teased or excluded when you were growing up?
Oh, definitely. I was bullied. I was isolated, excluded from, like when you're in school and they pick teams, I was always the last person to be picked. Or, during a dance, all the boys would walk by and I would never get, asked to dance. So it was always, people pointing or staring or, I remember going to a day camp and the kids were so mean to me that I came home and I said, I'm never going to go back to that camp. And my sister Susie had to take my place. So yes, I have experienced being bullied, and it's not a good feeling. It doesn't make you feel good, and so that's why I think it's so important to have that discussion about what you do when you are bullied, how to stand up for yourself, and how to just point that person out and say, no, you're not going to affect me. I'm going to stand up straight, look you right in the eye and say, that's not acceptable. I was born this way. We all have something going on.
Yeah. I can relate. I remember being picked last for team sports, and also when I went away to sleepaway camp, there was this bully, Amy, who really made my summer really difficult. So I can relate so much to that. We actually have a question from Lorelei. She's saying, Patricia, is your book series about bullies or a variety of topics? And when did you write the first one? And how many are in the series?
Oh, thank you for your question. I have written 4 books so far. I have 2 more that will be coming out soon. All the books are different. So Smile with Simon is the first book that I wrote. And that I wrote as a result of going to various doctors in my 50s and trying to find doctors and dentists that could work on an adult patient born with a cleft lip and palate, and how difficult it was. And so when I did go to the clinic, I realized that there were no children's books. And so I realized, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and write my own. So the first book, Smile with Simon, introduces you to Simon and his friends. And that message is all about kindness and acceptance. And the second one is Simon and the Buddy Branch. And it's about, where do you go when you feel alone? And so this book is basically a story of basically a bird feeling all alone and other birds seeing him and extending their hand to them. The third book is Simon and the Bully. And then the other book I have is Simon and Patty Go to Camp. And that book was written to show that there are camps out there for kids born with craniofacial differences. That's a camp that I never went to, I never knew about. And so that book introduces you to a whole bunch of different characters, showing you that you can have fun, meet new people, and realize that we're all different. The 2 upcoming books, one is co-written by Abigail Grady. She's 9 years old. And that book deals with wearing masks. So the title of that book is Mask On, Mask Off. And it deals with just a whole bunch of things. What happens when you take that mask off, how you really prevent yourself from exposing your true self for fear of being accepted. And then the other book is about Leo. Leo is a French bulldog that we adopted when he was 2 pounds. He was born with a cleft lip and palate. And so that book is just a fun little book about a little dog just running around, having a great old time, showing you that, you know what, you can go out there, have a blast, live your life, and so it's a cute read.
I love that, and I'm excited that I was humbled and honored to be asked to write the intro for the other book that you've written. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you.
Yeah, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. So what would you say to kids and adults who look different and are trying to embrace it?
I would say, first of all, that you're not alone, that every single person looks different. That's how it is. You wouldn't want everyone to look the same or to think the same, to feel the same. And so my message is, yes, you may have a scar, you may have different things going on, but that should never prevent you from doing anything, sports, anything that you want to do. The only thing that holds you back is yourself. So step outside that door, experience life, and be proud of who you are.
Thank you. I love that. We actually have a question from Anna. How did you come up with the books? She wants to know.
How I came up with the books, like I said, I was downtown at this craniofacial center, and there were no children's books. And on the drive home, I was stuck in the 2.5 hour traffic. And this whole story came to me as I was sitting in bumper to bumper traffic about a bird born with a gap in his beak and how he was able to have his red feathers shine when he finally realized that, you know what, I'm different and it's okay. So that's really how the stories began. And I've made a point that when you read my books, I pay very close attention to detail. So you'll notice that Simon, his scar is on the left side, and mine's on the left side. And the character Patty, her scar is on the left side. And so basically in the book, Patty is me. And my last name is Simon. And so Simon is the bird. And so the different characters in the books are all very important people to me that I've made characters in my books to help me explain that it's okay to be different.
I can't believe I never really put it two and two together, Patty and Simon, until now. You just said that. We actually have a question from John. It's actually a great question. What do you say to kids who don't have a facial difference and know someone who does?
I would say try and be the best friend that you possibly can be, and don't treat them any different. Be there for them. Just do normal things that you would do with anybody. There's going to be times that they're going to open up to you and share with you how they feel. And I would say that sometimes if what they say is perhaps you're not quite sure how to respond, I would say you need to go back home to your parents or teachers or even the craniofacial community and ask, ooh, how do I respond to this? I've never been in a situation like that, and it's okay. And that's where we come in, because we have a lot of support and different tools to help people deal with facial differences.
Yeah. And I love to introduce to the people the idea of being an upstander for somebody, not just being a bystander, because I think, and I know how many times somebody says to me, that's so hard, because what if they then turn on me and I get picked on because I stood up for somebody? But I think it's it's rewarding in the end, and you feel good. I know it's hard. It can be hard sometimes, but I think to be an upstander is such a great idea to introduce to kids who don't have a difference, and even who do, to be that person. So
yes, and also parents have a huge role in this. It all begins with parents, and they have to stand up and do the right thing and be upstanding, because the kids are going to look to their parents for example. So it really begins with parents.
Yeah, and I think they have to model the good behavior, right? And that's
Definitely.
kids are like sponges; they soak it all in. And so if they see their parents doing the right thing, and then they'll do it. We actually have a comment from Sue. She says, "Thank you, Patricia, for your beautiful and positive books. You are an inspiration for spreading positivity and love in the world." I love that.
Thank you.
So what advice do you have for maybe an inspiring writer who may want to share their story?
I would say, again, never let fear hold you back. I never thought I would be writing children's books or writing lyrics to a song. I never thought I had that capability. And so I want to convey to you that you may think, oh, I'm in this lane. I've never done something and I'm afraid to do it. Don't be afraid. Go and put your best foot forward. And even though you've never done anything before, that's the fun thing. There's lots of growth that comes with trying new things. And I firmly believe that if I didn't write these books, I would never have met the most incredible people that I have. And they've shared such wonderful stories, and I've developed such wonderful friendships that if I would have said, oh, yeah, there's no children's books in the clinic, I'm just going to go about my business. It just shows you the impact you can have. Just one person can have a huge impact on others.
Well, I don't know if you know it, but you actually have inspired me to write, and I've started doing more of that this year. So thank you.
Oh,
Yes. So a couple more questions. We have a question from Anna. What do you do when you are bullied? Great question.
well, I think that as you get older, it gets easier, actually, because it takes a while for you to get that voice and that confidence to say, no, 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 you're not going to bully me. It's not acceptable. And to tell people exactly how you feel. And so what I do is just stop them in their track and say, no, I'm not going to get engaged in that negative behavior. But I also want the kids listening is that it's very difficult. And that's when, like I said, there's a lot of programs for the craniofacial community, especially programs through My Face that help navigate through these waters for parents, for teachers, for kids. And it's not a one size fits all. There's going to be situations, especially with the mask wearing, when you take it off, kids are going to start staring. I've never seen, a scar. What's with that? And so I think having that discussion with your child, saying, there's going to be times in which people are going to say mean things, but you need to stand up for yourself and say, no, I was born this way, and not engage in bad behavior like that.
Absolutely. I think that we need to teach kids. I think kindness, it goes a long way. And I think if you throw, I do kindness like confetti or like a boomerang. If you put kindness out there, it comes back. And if you're kind to somebody, it really, ultimately, you'll feel good about it. And
you feel so good.
So good. And I think that is also an important message. But I think also, I know for myself, I lost my voice in some ways when I was younger because kids would tease me and exclude me. And I think having an avenue or finding some activity or something that you love to do with others can be really a good thing too. And it's a way, it's an outlet for finding your voice ultimately. So, yeah. So, what do you think the main message is that everyone should take away from your book?
The main takeaway is just to realize that we are all different. We all have different opinions. We don't know what's going on in other people's lives. So it's kind of hold back your judgment. And try and be the example that you want to see out in the world. So I think kindness is the first thing, is maybe doing just a little something that people don't expect. And like you said, Dee Dee, you get so much back when you do acts of kindness. And I think that we really need to start practicing that more, instead of pointing the finger at things that maybe are not working out in your life, and saying, you know what, it's never too late to make a change, to realize that this does not define who I am. I am so much more than the scar that you see on my face.
So I couldn't agree more. So I know you mentioned it earlier, but and last year you adopted a little dog. Can you tell us about your dog?
Yes. So one of the things that I never knew, and I want to spread the message because a lot of people don't know this, there are thousands of dogs that are born with a cleft lip and palate, cleft lip and or palate. And a lot of times when those dogs are born, when they're brought to the veterinarian, they're usually put down because they're a lot of work, round the clock feedings, and it's a very difficult rescue. And so I just happened to see that this little guy was born, and I reached out to the breeder and I said, you know, I explained my story, and I said we would be more than happy to bring Leo home and take care of him. And so when we got him, he was only 2 pounds, and so we did that every 3 to 4 hour feedings. And when he was about 4 months of age, he did have to have surgery on his lip and palate because it was difficult for him to eat. And so a lot of times the food would come out. And now Leo is about 20 pounds, healthy, the sweetest, cuddliest dog. And so, yep, there he is when he was just a little one. And he's just a lovable French bulldog. And so part of writing the book about Leo is letting people know that there are all of these people that are rescuing these dogs, and that they need a good home. And so they not only need a good home, but a lot of times these dogs are being fostered, and these foundations really need support to help keep these dogs alive and to be brought to good families.
Leo is so sweet, so cute. So we have a comment from Lorelei, and she says, Dina and Patricia, you are so inspiring. My brain is percolating. I may be writing and illustrating some kids' books I've thought about for many years. You're an inspiration. And then we have a comment from Anna, life would be different without you. So,
so sweet.
Love that. So sweet. One last question, I guess, is do you have a website for Smile with Simon?
I do, and it's a easy website to remember. It's www.smilewithsimon.org, and you'll see all the different dolls in my website, as well as resources. Different videos, songs. There's just a lot of information in there for support for the craniofacial community.
Great. Yes, I encourage everybody to check out Smile with Simon website. And so I think we are going to wrap it up. And tonight has been really an absolute pleasure. And Patricia, we can't thank you enough for joining us. Please share your appreciation for Patricia and her book in the live chat. And if you don't already own it, you can find or request this book at your local bookstore or on Amazon.com. And Lorelei says, thank you, Patricia. And if you, we have a special song to share with you about Simon. Patricia, can you tell us a bit about it before we share it with our audience?
Sure. This song is based on my book, Smile with Simon, the first book, and it reiterates the common themes throughout all the books. Be kind, be accepting, be inclusive. And I thought of the lyrics. It was fairly easy for me to write the lyrics, and my friend Carrie Cano helped with the lyrics, and I told Carrie exactly how I wanted the song. So I said, I want some birds singing in the very beginning. I want ukulele being played because ukulele is such a happy instrument. And so we worked really great together. And so we had this song, and then I worked with an illustrator for the video so that they could match up the song with the book. So I hope you enjoy it.
Terrific. Let's watch.
Simon, this is a song. It's badge of courage
What a beautiful song with a powerful message. Thank you so much, Patricia, for being with us tonight. We hope to see you at our next author read aloud and Q&A on next Tuesday evening, August 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with Donna DeMeo Rooney, author of a great book, Danny and the Day the Bully Changed Everything. And don't forget to RSVP at myfaith.org/summer series to get email reminders about all the summer's exciting events. Also join us for our next Transforming Lives webinar tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right after this ends, entitled Creating Building Blocks for Home, School, and Social Connections for Children with Craniofacial Diagnoses. I highly recommend it if there are any parents on tonight. We have also recently launched a new monthly broadcast and podcast called My Face, My Story that you can find on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts channels, as well as on My Face's YouTube and Facebook channels. Our next live broadcast of My Face, My Story is next Wednesday, August 18th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, where I will be having a conversation with comedian Sarah Cooper and her sister Charmaine Cooper, who was born with Treacher-Collins syndrome and is a nurse. We have a new initiative designed to provide families with a unique opportunity to make an impact in their own communities while also raising funds and awareness for My Face programming called the Wonder Project Summer Kindness Campaign. Learn more about the campaign by visiting our website at myface.org. Finally, September is Cleft and Craniofacial Awareness Month, so be sure to join us on September 19th for our annual Races for Faces event. This year's event will once again be virtual. After the virtual program, you can go out into your community and walk with family and friends to raise awareness and critical funds for My Face. To sign up to participate or to make a donation, visit racesforfaces.org. Now it's time to announce the winners of our signed books. If you are selected as a winner, please email me at dina@myface.org to coordinate the delivery of your book. Our first winner is Bridget B. So if you are the winner, please contact us. And then our second winner is Anna G. So please email me and let us know that you won. Congratulations to both of you. And so, again, the winner should email me at dina@myfaith.org, and we will make sure that you receive your book. And thank you, Patricia, and thank you, everyone, for sharing your time with us today, and look forward to seeing you next Tuesday evening. Good night.